Sometimes I worry about making important decisions when the correct choice is unclear. I've got to admit, I'm a bit of an overthinker and I worry about things. Today, dealing with our fears and making the right decision. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards. Do me a favor, click on the like and subscribe buttons below. So, do you find yourself overthinking or fearing decisions that you have to make like I do? Frankly, for me, it happens a lot when I have a medical issue and I have to see my doctor. It seems like fear takes over of the worst. So imagine how I felt when not too long ago, the pain from a toothache seemed to get worse as every hour passed. I tried to ignore it. I tried to hope it would go away, but it didn't. It just got worse. So I finally called my dentist and he got me in right away. After a quick exam, he said he wanted me to see an endodontist as he was pretty sure I needed an emergency root canal. Oh, and by the way, he meant like right away, not like in 2 or 3 days. In fact, he called the doctor's office and got me in right away. The drive across town was not a pleasant one for me. I replayed in my head all of the horror stories I have read and heard about the procedure. So I got there. I was greeted by this very nice doctor. I'd never met him before. He seemed younger than my adult children. And following another quick exam, he concurred with my dentist's opinion and he began explaining the procedure, the root canal procedure, in great detail. He told me about the technique that he uses. The techniques are really quite advanced. And he said that root canals have an undeserved reputation of being awful and painful. He assured me that once he had everything numbed up, I wouldn't feel much of anything. He even told me what an endodontist does. I wasn't even sure. An endodontist, by the way, works inside the tooth, while the dentist works on the outside of your tooth. His confident manner didn't really stop me from worrying, but it was too late for me to run out of the office screaming. So I just sat back and let it happen. And about an hour and a half later, he was done. I felt zero pain other than the prick of the needle to numb the area. Once again, I was worried for nothing. My fears weren't really based on facts, but on unfounded stories that I had heard. You know, whether we worry about decisions about our health or our business, our anxiety prevents us from thinking clearly. Scientists at the University of Pittsburgh discovered that anxiety disengages the part of our brain that guides us to better decisions. They published their findings in the Journal of Neuroscience, noting that the prefrontal cortex is the area that helps take emotion out of our decision, and anxiety prevents that from happening. So, how do we reduce the anxiety that hinders our decision making? Get the facts. I mean, had I researched modern day root canal procedures, I maybe would have been a little bit less fearful, maybe just a little bit. Another idea is to meditate or perform mindfulness. On a recent documentary following a neurosurgeon, I saw him closing his eyes and centering himself just for a minute before beginning a procedure. In the workplace, when you are faced with making a tough decision, give yourself a deadline. We may always feel that we need just a little bit more information before we can make a decision, but the truth is, we can have too much information, which can cloud our decision making process. So, research until the deadline arrives and then make your decision based upon the best information you have. Sometimes we delay our decision because we don't want to disappoint someone. If you are a leader, you need to lead without fear of losing a popularity contest. Thinking based on the best information we can gather will serve us well. Maybe that process will help me be less fearful before I see my dentist to have the crown put on my tooth. How does fear interfere with your ability to make decisions? I'd like to hear what you have to say about the subject. Leave a comment below. I'm Dave Edwards. Thanks for clicking on my video.